Hi, my name is Ben Modie, founder of the Center for Knowledge. Thank you so much for having made the choice to be here to watch my very first video for my brand new YouTube channel called CfK Motivation Channel. CfK is a project that I took out of my personal strategic plan, and I use it to create motivational lessons to share with you and everyone else, so that you can influence your own development and growth. My journey of personal development began sometimes in the mid 90s, when I was still actively employed in the public service. Every now and then, we'll be introduced to new work reform processes, and you get people coming from outside to come and share with us something that we didn't know, with the aim to improve our personal productivity and then overall organizational productivity. So the one process that I really got interested in is the way they were teaching us about strategic planning. It really got me interested in my own personal development, my own personal productivity, to the extent where I decided that instead of just using it in the workplace, I was going to adopt it and use it for my own personal life, in terms of working on myself, to develop myself, to make sure that the same processes that are used to try and up workplace productivity, I can also use them to try and organize myself to become a better productive person in terms of living life, in terms of living my individual life, not just at work. So this decision really helped me to develop more than I was before, to begin to really find it easy to cope in life, to develop procedures that allowed me to be effective in terms of the choices that I made in life, the decisions that I made in my life as an individual. And ultimately I ended up coming up with my own strategic plan, or my own vision plan, that is a blueprint of the future that I desire as somebody who has a moment to exist in life, and wanting to find a way in which I could use that in a more fulfilling, joyous way that really would give me a feeling that yes, indeed, I've been here and I've made the best experience of my time on earth. So the experience that I got from work then developed a great deal of love for reading books on personal development, on human development, human resources development, motivation, inspiration, just to ensure that whatever we do in life, we do it effortlessly without really needing to struggle in terms of getting what we wanted to get in life. So the very first book that I was given after we went to a time management workshop is a book called the Personal Efficiency Program, and this is a book authored by Kerry Gleason. It's a book about organizing yourself in the workplace and making sure that your workspace is clear of clutter, and there are no things around that could easily distract you from what you are doing. So the book teaches that you only put what you are working on your work table and nothing else. And it also teaches principles that really help you to become proactive. There's a principle in there that is called do it now, so that you avoid procrastination. So the one thing that really worked for me in this book is that at the beginning of every year, I would sit down, I would read this book, and then I would try and apply what I've learned from this book in terms of organizing my office, my shelves, and making sure that everything is in order. And I always found that I'm getting results out of that. So this was the first time in my life when I noticed that indeed, if you sit down and you learn something and you apply what you have learned, you actually get results. So this book taught me that no, when you learn something, the only reason for learning something is to apply what you have learned. And then of course you will get results. So at that time, everything changed about my life. And within this book, reference was also made of Stephen Covey's bestseller, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So what I did is I went to purchase this book, Stephen Covey's book, and I went through it again, and I still, managed to get a lot more from this book to develop myself to even a higher level than I was before. So from now onwards, every book led to another, and another, and another, and another. I was buying most of my books from Amazon.com, and ultimately I got, to an extent where I was now beginning to, to think and sound like the authors of these books. I was having so many ideas, seeing so many possibilities and opportunities of what to do, what could be done, to create solutions for many areas. And I just got overwhelmed with all these thoughts and ideas, and I started asking myself, because I had already now developed a mini library at home, and now I started asking myself, what am I going to do with all this, wisdom, the inspiration, the motivation, the knowledge, the ideas, because it's not really going to be of much, use if I just keep it to myself. And I was thinking that if others also went through the same process of reading, learning, and understanding, then we could really see a sudden increase in terms of, our productivity levels in different settings of life, and that people will begin to understand, the real reason why they learn, and why they have to go to work and try and contribute, their knowledge and their skills and the like. So this is when I decided, no, I think it's now about time I found a forum that will help me to share this knowledge. And therefore, I sat down and then decided, well, I need to come up with a project. This is when CfK came into being. CfK came into being to be a vehicle that I would then use, to share my wisdom, to share my knowledge and my thoughts about possibilities that came in as a result of learning from others, reading all of these books that I was reading. So CfK then is a vehicle that I use, to reach out, to my community. I developed, seminars for the general public. I would, go and spend some time at workplaces to share with people in the work environment, just to try and get them inspired, motivated, and committed to work, particularly with regard to self-improvement through personal development and learning to try and develop themselves further. I also visited schools to talk to young people, young learners, just to get them to realize that the reason why they have to go to class or to be in class or to be going through their course programs is not only about ending up passing and getting some qualifications or certificates, but what they are learning there is going to be more important when they come out of the learning institutions, because they're going to have to need to rely on their knowledge which they would have learned at the learning institutions, for them to be able to see opportunities around them, and for them to be able to fit well into organizational setup, so that they can be considered as part of the organization in terms of them contributing something meaningful and useful, which would help their organizations to also grow and become even more effective. But in addition to that, I also organized just general public seminars where I went around different cities and towns around the country, just to share with people my knowledge, my thinking, my ideas, but still on personal development. And at this stage, I was really trying to get people to understand that if they want better in life, they have to start by developing themselves first, because as you develop and you begin to understand better, you begin to see opportunities better, and therefore there's less struggle and there's less overwhelm in life, and you have, you know, a wide array of choices in terms of what you can do in life to make your life better than it has always been. And so this is what I did. And from the seminars, then I decided, because I still had, you know, a lot more ideas coming in every day. I wake up, there's something. So I decided that, you know, ultimately, let me just take out all of these ideas and compile them in the form of books. Okay. Then I did that. I would write most of these ideas in notebooks, and ultimately I decided to just bring them together to, you know, create books. I have books that are self-published. They are on Amazon. There are about 7 books that I've written so far. So these books are also part of the CfK, you know, or channel path that I use to share my knowledge with the wider community, and they can be found, as I say, on Amazon.com. Yeah, and then I went further than that as well. I created some social media forums. You know, I have a site on Facebook, Instagram, and also on LinkedIn, where I share inspirational posts just to try and inspire and get people motivated to also want to do better and continue learning and improving themselves, to get to an extent where really, I mean, they understand, you know, the key, you know, role of learning, that when you learn and you apply what you have learned, there's no way you cannot get better results. Okay? There is just no way. You know, it's only when you learn and then you don't you know, apply what you have learned, and then maybe you expect that something will happen from somewhere, somehow, without really taking the action to do so. Okay, so those social medias also have proven to be a very useful channel to reach out to the wider community. So at the present moment, I'm now working on my, you know, the next phase of my project, because the phase where I was doing seminars and the other things, as I said, that was the first phase, and it was just the awareness phase where I was saying to people, become aware that if you have been trying, you know, to live your life one way, or you've been trying to create results one way, there's always another possibility. There are always other options. You can change your mind and try and do things in a different way. So that then resulted, of course, with a lot of people, you know, getting inspired and beginning to want to learn. And then I said, because now people seem to have been, you know, inspired, I've given them the wisdom, so I also need to create a possibility for them to get to the next level, where they can now find it easy to engage the wisdom that I've given them and the inspiration and the knowledge, to now begin to create results, you know, in their own lives. So, and this is why now I'm working on this new phase, which is going to be an online learning forum. It's all motivational education. So the new phase, of course, is going to comprise short courses, a membership site, and I'm also going to be having, you know, summaries of my books in video format. And so these are the products that are going to be a part of this next phase of my project. Well, I've already completed the early stages of the website. The website is ready now for people to begin to visit it and opt in. In other words, to enter their names and emails, so that I can continue to share with them the latest developments or latest updates. The YouTube channel that I'm now, you know, launching is a part of this new phase. So this is another dimension through which, you know, I would like to reach out, you know, to the wider community, to those who might not have had an opportunity to link up with me in the already available sites that I already have at the moment. So the new phase is called taking off and going the extra mile. Essentially, all I'm saying is that after learning what you have learned, you now need to apply that. Act on the knowledge, act on the wisdom, so that you can see your life, you know, propel from where you are to another level, where you begin to feel better than you have always done. So this is why I'm saying going the extra mile, doing something that you have not done before, so that you can create new, you know, fulfilling results and live your life at another energy level than where you have been. But the challenge that I'm giving to you is to act to raise your level of worth and effectiveness in life, to do better than you've always done, and to make sure that if you haven't yet, start now to live a purpose-driven life and a vision-led life. When you have purpose and you have vision, life becomes much lighter. There is no overwhelm, because when you are on purpose. Purpose is the spiritual reason why you are here. It's the reason you are brought into life. It's why you were created. And then when you start engaging from that point, you are spirited. Everything is light. Everything is really, really light. You don't feel the overwhelm, as I say. And this is what I'm saying is the extra mile. Going to another level where you're going to find that you reduce the struggles that you have had, the stressful conditions that you have had in your life will be a thing of the past. So that is your challenge. And there are real benefits here. And when you live your life this way, you feel authentic that, I came in and I'm really being a worthy being. I'm really fulfilling my reason, the reason that I was brought here into life. And you feel that your life has meaning. And as soon as you feel that your life has meaning, you generate a sense of joy and happiness in your life. And ultimately you feel fulfilled, which is what we are all yearning for. So you are living a fulfilling life. You are really, really excited about your experience in life. And it doesn't seem like your life is just a waste of time, or just struggle or sweat and toil, as sometimes people define life. So the key lessons here that I'm sharing with you in this channel is firstly to learn how to determine your strategic foundations. In other words, the 3 key elements that you really need to live your life on the basis of is your purpose. Learning how to determine your purpose, learning how to be able to develop your vision. Your vision is that shining light in the distance, which is drawing you towards itself, which represents the future you desire, the kind of life that you really want to live. Whereas purpose is going to be propelling you and pushing you, giving you the momentum, to go towards your vision. Your vision will give you a precise direction, orientation, where your life is meant to go. And then the third key point is the mission, making sure that your mission is clear. Mission essentially is the roadmap towards your vision. That is the key tasks or activities that you must engage in to get you from where you are to where your vision is. So those 3 key elements, purpose, vision, mission, is what you're going to be learning in this channel. And this ultimately is really going to help you to be an organized person. If your life has felt like this is haphazard, maybe trial and error, this time around it's clear where you are going, what you are doing, and you have the energy and the momentum to be able to do that. And you're going to be effective, because purpose is going to say, this is what you need to engage in. You're only doing this activity, not that activity, because this activity is the only one that is going to advance you toward your vision. The other activity is simply taking you away from where your vision is. Therefore, this is going to allow you to be more effective in terms of how you spend your time, your money, as well as your efforts. Equally, you're going to be more efficient in terms of your time to live. Your time is going to be spent on things that really matter, on activities that really advance your life and draws you nearer to your vision. Your money, when you spend it, you are spending it on activities that are also advancing your life toward where you really want to go. And therefore, you are going to be more efficient than you have ever been in your life, ever. Equally, where you put effort is where your purpose is and where your vision is. So you're not going to be seeing pretty much effort in acts that have nothing to do with who you are and who you really want to become. So overall, you see, this thing will really create a whole lot of organization around you. As I was saying earlier on, strategic planning, though we've been using it just in organizations, in business or work organization and the like, but you can also adopt it as an individual to make sure that you are better organized and you are able to spend your resources in the best way possible. I mean, this will also make it easy for you, particularly if you're still a learner at an early stage, and you can organize yourself along this way where you have a clear purpose, you have a vision, and you have a mission. It will make it easy for you to be able to identify organizations that when you finish, you can join and go and work for, and to make sure that you will actually go to work, with great motivation and inspiration, because these will be organizations that are, aligned to who you are. Now, their visions, their strategic foundations will also be aligned to your strategic foundation. So you'll find it easy to get up and go to work for your purpose, your vision, rather than simply just turning up at work because you are getting paid. So this is why it is so key and important for those who are still at the learning stage. Equally, when you are organized this way, it becomes easy for you to recognize opportunities for starting a business, because you're going to start a business looking at the needs in your community and looking at your purpose, which simply reveals how you can be of service to life. And then when you see needs areas, it will be easy for you to be able to create a project or a business where you can go in there and be able to act on your purpose to meet such needs. Ultimately, what we get from you, that is, if you can really commit to learning and take these lessons seriously for your own development, ultimately what we get from you is a greatly inspired, motivated and committed role player in all of human life settings, whether we are talking about at home, in the community, workplace, or the global village. You will be one such person who is really, really ready at all times to commit, go in, engage, and be of value to life. Most importantly, you are the kind of person who knows how to manage themselves better. I mean, I'm recording this right now when the world is in the middle of the COVID-19 coronavirus, and already we are having situations where some of us are finding it difficult to conform to the set standards, and by that they are really creating problems for all of humanity. Even though all of humanity are trying to act in one way to make sure that they can defeat the virus, there are others yet who are simply going in different directions and making possible for this virus to permeate the entire human fabric and make it difficult for us to be able to defeat it. But if you go through this kind of lessons, you are the kind of person who knows when it's time to act, when it's time to learn, and you learn, you understand, you act on the understanding. It becomes easier for you to understand set procedures and why they've been set that way. Yeah, thank you so much, and I hope you have picked one or two things of interest to you, and I would want to invite you at this moment to please subscribe to my channel so that I can continue to do some more videos and share with you some more inspirational material for your own growth, so that ultimately you can also take your life to the extra mile. Please visit CfK's site to join the CfK Motivation Revolution. Thank you so much again. I really, really appreciate it.